Hey guys, Marissa at KitchenTableStamper.com. Welcome to the fourth and final paper and ink card class video for June 2018. We're playing with It Starts With Art. Starts With Art is a 12-piece cling stamp set with a crafty theme. When you buy arts and crafts, dies, and It Starts With Art together, you can save 10%. I'm also using the button embossing folder from the Follow Your Art suite, and the Follow Your Art Designer Series paper is featured prominently on this card. What else do you need for this card? Rectangle stitched framelits. We are stamping our focal image on rectangle G, and rectangle G is 3 1/8 by 1 13/16. All right. Stampin' pads for this project: Pacific Point, Coastal Cabana, Memento Tuxedo Black. I've got my Stampin' blends here. We're gonna color this image, and we've got Smoky Slate Combo, Mango Melody Combo, Dark Pool Party, Light Bermuda Bay, Calypso Coral Combo, Color Lifter, and Crumb Cake Combo. Let's take a look at the kit. Remember, if you place an order of $50 or more using the host code at marisaalvarez.stampinup.net, you will get a kit for each of the paper and ink card class cards for free. Now, what will your kit include? Well, your kit will include your card base, 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. Yours will be embossed for you. You got your Designer Series paper. These are 1 1/2 inch squares, and they're these gorgeous Follow Your Art Designer Series papers. There's 2 of each. Got a 1 1/8 inch scallop punch punched from crushed curry, and a 1 inch whisper white circle. We've got a piece of Coastal Cabana here. This is about 1 1/2 by 2, and this is for stamping and die cutting your little ribbon bobbin. And then there's that whisper white rectangle that we talked about, cut with the rectangle stitched dies. All right, let's get started here. We'll do some stamping first. I've got my Tuxedo Black Memento. I'm gonna ink up the markers. I love this little marker image. We're gonna stamp this just right of center and centered top to bottom on our stitch rectangle. Then we need our little Coastal Cabana and our 1 inch whisper white circle. Let's grab our Stampin' pads. Got my little ribbon bobbin, little decorative image here. I love this image. Now you want to ink up very lightly, little light taps on the ink pad. Otherwise, you're going to grab the center of that image and end up with a blushing in the center. And in this case, it doesn't matter because we're going to cover the center. But if you were using this image just as it is, you wouldn't want the ink to blush in the center. So ink up carefully. And then I've got my Let's Stay Up Late and Craft greeting. Perfect for me. Couldn't live without this stamp. I'm going to go ahead and stamp that centered on the little 1 inch circle. You can always grab a scrap and stamp and then punch if that's easier for you. I'm a little bit off center. There's 2 sides to every paper. Let's give that one more try. I might still be left of center. Maybe my eyes are on left of center today. All right, there's our little greeting. Now coloring our markers, all of the little bases of the markers are Smoky Slate. So I'm gonna go ahead and color in each of these, but I'm only going to show you, for example, the one that's like a Stampin' blend here, because the technique is the same for coloring all the bases. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna color in the base of the marker here with the light Smoky Slate, And when you lay down a base of color, you want to really saturate the area, and that's why you use little circular strokes. You don't scribble in up and down with a alcohol-based marker because you won't get the saturation into the cardstock that you need for the shades to blend. So little circles, light smoky slate, and then what I'm going to do is go in with my dark smoky slate, and I'm going to define the left and right edges and the corners here, kind of filling in behind this decorative scroll that the artist brought in. And then where the light and the dark meet at the center there, we're going to scribble with our light smoky slate. Then at the tip of the marker here, we'll define that left edge and each of the areas where the angle kind of changes. We're just defining the shape. Now we'll do the same thing with the other three. This one's a watercolor pencil, but these other three coloring medium. And on these thinner ones, instead of shadowing both sides, I'll just shadow down the left side and blend together dark to light shades. All right, I'm gonna color that in, and then when we switch colors, I'll be right back. Okay, so my barrels are all colored in. Now let's work on adding a splash of color here. So I got my watercolor pencil, and I'm coloring the end and the point with some Mango Melody and keeping that left hand shadow consistent. So just a little darker along that left hand and then around along the base of the bottom there. For Calypso Coral here, we're going to color in the cap of the marker with the light and just really saturate. Then we'll take the darker Calypso Coral and run down that left side and then the little dots. Bring the two shades together with the light. And then the point of the marker with a little shadow down the left side. Got my dark Pool Party, light Bermuda Bay combo here. Color in the cap, the dark Pool Party. Gonna take the light Bermuda Bay down the left side, dots, and then bring the two together. Color the tip. Little detail here, we've got our crumb cake. I'm going to color the wood for the watercolor pencil. A little bit of light, dark, light, simple blending there. And then the last little detail, and this is optional, it's up to you. I take my light smoky slate and I'm just kind of dragging the light smoky slate down the side of each of these coloring medium, and then really scribbling out with the color lifter. So we're giving them kind of a little dimension by giving them kind of a cast shadow. As I draw in this cast shadow, I'm letting the marker kind of skip and drag. It's not a solid line, it's not a consistent width. And then I'm really pushing that ink deep into the cardstock. We want a very light shadow, something that the eye doesn't really perceive unless you know it's there. You really want to saturate that line with your color lifter and soften that shadow. All right. While that dries a little, let's get the big shot, do some embossing and a quick die cutting. All right, we've got our button embossing folder here. We're gonna emboss the front of the card. Look at that great image. I love that button embossing folder. Switch to die cutting. And now our little decorative spool, our little bobbin image. Gonna line that up. And with the new Stampin' Up! Dies, you line it up so the edge of the die is right on the image. How cute is that little decorative spool? Love it. Okay, let's get this card put together. I'm gonna take my marker image and I'm going to add a snail on all 4 sides here, right along the edge. And then I'm gonna dry fit my little designer series paper. I want these 2 in the corners, and then we're gonna follow by the little crushed curry streaks. And then we've got this kind of aqua pattern in the opposite corners. Now we just kind of arrange these things. I like this multicolor pattern to be on top. When you've got a placement that you like, you can kind of lay over your image and pick up the squares. You can adjust a little bit. It's snail, so it's not grabbed too tight at this point. And really go for a placement that you are happy with. I want a little bit more of this multicolored gray one to show, so we're gonna pull it out a bit. I think I'm pretty happy with that. Then we can pick up the entire piece and go ahead with more snail. Now the positioning for this is off center to the right, and make sure that the stitched edge of your rectangle squares up with the edge of your card. We don't want it uphill or downhill. All right, love it. Let's stay up late and craft. Little snail, we'll adhere that to our crushed curry scallop. And then a little more snail. Oh, see, I'm off to the left again. Left of center. I think my eyes are on left of center today. That's all right. With snail, we can make a little adjustment. There. Now snail the center of our spool. Get Let's Stay Up Late and Craft centered on there. We need some dimensionals. I'm going to take a couple of minis and do kind of a triangle placement here to support them. All right, dimensionals are sticky, and for placement, we want good balance, kind of low on the marker image. About 1/4 of an inch should work out from the fold. Make sure that your sentiment is running level. There it is. Let's stay up late and craft. All right, if you've got questions about paper and ink cards, either getting the kit to go by placing your order, marisaAlvarez.stampinup.net. If you've got questions about paper and ink cards in my Rolling Meadows home studio, you can email marisa@kitchentablestamper.com. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help you stay crafty. All right, guys, thanks for watching.